Can any one religion contain the vastness that is God? No. Within a single book, within a single binding, there cannot be an explanation for the being who is at the top of everything in the universe, and the universe is around this one. And if you believe in heaven and hell, then the head of those realities as well, those pieces of reality at the very least. Uh, the idea that a single binding can contain everything you need to know about God is is ridiculous to me, because all the different religions look at God from a different perspective, and all these different perspectives are valuable. They all have a role to play in pieces of God, in functions of God. Since God is infinite, if you believe God has infinite power and is omnipresent, if you don't believe he's omnipresent and omnipotent, then basically he's infinite, and he can manifest in whatever form he wants, basically. But I'm more inclined to believe that he manifests in all forms to different degrees, and at the very least influences all forms. Now, for one religion to contain everything that one needs to know to basically understand God, uh, that's inaccurate to me. Now, when I look at other people's faiths from a different point of view, um, okay, believe that. If you really believe that, then that's fine. But if you want to force that belief onto other people that only your way is the right way and there's no other right way, even if you yourself believe that your way is the only way, then trying to force it onto other people is utterly ridiculous. Because when you start to understand what they grew up with, uh, you start to understand that, oh, they grew up around the same kind of religious tradition that I did, where I was given what I was supposed to believe is the truth and expected to follow it. And you start to question, at least I would. I wasn't raised with anything, but I would start to question, uh, well, if they were raised in the same way to where they were given what they were expected to believe as truth, um, then if I was raised that way as well, is there a discrepancy? Is there a way to go beyond what we're force fed? And is what we were force fed right? Is it absolute truth? And this is very hard to look at. It's very hard to look at ourselves. It's really very hard to look at the idea that our faith, our religion is wrong. And it's never been hard for me because I wasn't raised with any religion. By the time I had questions about God, which was about 8 years old, I also realized that my parents didn't know anything about God. So I started researching on my own, and I eventually found my way to Hinduism. But it was a very long road. Um, Getting back to the idea that God is infinite, and I believe God is infinite, I do not think that God would want us to just worship Him through one religion if He's infinite, and I think He is. I would not think that God only wants us to call Him Yahweh and not Allah, or only wants us to follow these set rules and not set rules that are almost identical. Um, and the idea that wearing certain garb is a big difference in religion is ridiculous as well. Um, but these are just a few of my thoughts on why there really isn't any reason to think that God can be contained in a single religion. These are just some of my ideas on that. And I'll produce more videos on this in the future. But thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.